of the season. Actually, both of them their second race of the season. But J-Luke and Jordan putting themselves right up there. Are they both in contention for the playoffs, or is J-Luke not?
J-Luke is not, because he's a reserve driver, but Jordan now being full-time, if he wins this race, he is in the playoffs. And very quickly, speaking of the playoffs, if the drivers finish like they start, then Bazza will drop out of the top 10 and Risky will be promoted into the playoffs. And Bazza will actually lose out by 2 points, as will Whiteout.
It's a very short formation lap, by the way, around here, so we will be getting underway pretty quickly. A couple of people have been disqualified already on their formation lap, including Dexter. Now, what happened to him last week then to warrant a disqualification? It was the safety car crashing into John. It's the most extraordinary thing I've ever seen in a league race, and this has come from a guy who had to commentate on Louis Delatrans flipping over nothing. So, you know, I'm serious about this, but yeah, Mr. John got a puncture in Monaco, reversed through the pit lane because he was spinning off, and the safety car collides with him. It was his own safety car. It was the safety car that he brought out for the puncture, and it hits him, flips him over, and Dexter had to stop. He couldn't get away because the safety car wasn't letting him go. The green light was on for me, for Arnaud as well, but not for him, and so he had to sit there. He got disqualified. It was the most extraordinary thing ever. Hopefully we don't get that again tonight, but as you all end up on the grid, anything can really happen. And OKK is not here, you might have noticed, but he's okay. He's in the playoffs anyway, so he can just sort of sit back and watch the replay when this goes up onto internet.
Not ideal for him, but like you say, he's already in the playoffs.
And here we go then, the lights are on here in Austria. The second most important race of the season, and the one that decides the playoffs, is underway. And it's a pretty poor start for Khalifa. He's not going to get off the line too well. He's going to fall down into P3, into turn 1 is Khalifa, and that's TC going wide. That's not good for his campaign. Hopefully he stays up there in P5. He does indeed. He might lose a position to Jordan now. He does. So there's only one loss. That could have been a collision. That could have been his campaign over. And it could still be as well. He's got a car on the inside of him. That's Clyde, who's going to lose out a lot as well. And NK Bourne's going to get ahead, and quite a lot of others as well. He'll be lucky to stay in the top 10 by the end of that straight. But the top 3, relatively clean. Of course, Khalifa falls back. And now you've got TC, and you've got Jordan, and you've got Risky Racer as well. It's all sort of kicking off. They're being relatively aggressive on this first lap, but we're all keeping it somehow very clean indeed. As Ferragamo on the inside of Bazza has a little tap, tries to get through. Camo Babu's had a slide as well. He'll recover from that one okay though. He should, well, he will come back out in last place, but he's got no damage or anything like that. He looks to be pretty clean. I think Yuri might have had a bit of an off as well. He was seemingly pretty slow there through turn 8. But at the end of lap 1, it is Pete in the lead from Arnold, Khalifa, J-Luke, Jordan, TC, Risky Racer, Clyde, MK Bourne, Dexter, Ferragamo, Bazza, Whiteout, and then Yuri on the inside. Late defence from Whiteout, but he has got through. Has the speed driver, Yuri up to P13, and then it's Beesma, indecisive, and then Jess, as indecisive, goes into the grass, trying to harry him, and she has got Splinter going up the inside and ahead, and then Camo Babo, of course, in last place then.
Of course, Camo Babo, one of the Joker drivers. The other one is MK Bourne, and he's in that sort of 9th, 10th place region where he can really do some damage, providing he stays with the leading pack. Nice to see Cloud recovered from that shock in turn 2 or 3 that he had. He's still very much there. Risky as well, doing a very good job at the moment.
Yeah, we've currently got Clyde now on the back of Risky, and Risky's pitting. Risky is pitting on lap 2. No damage or anything. He is going to try something different. Of course, you've got a 2-stop to make. Softs do tend to fall off quite quickly on this track. I think in the 24 hours of F1 they were also pitting extremely early here. So not really surprised to see this pit stop, I guess, and it should be medium to the end. Same for Whiteout, and he is changing the front wing now. That's the difference. He is actually changing the front wing, but certainly Risky Racer, that was strategy call.
Yeah, that is the first tactical pit stop we've seen this season that isn't under a safety car. So eyes on Risky for the rest of this race.
Yep. Absolutely. The top three are all starting to close in on each other. Arnaud, of course, with the DRS, as has got Khalifa with his DRS as well, but Arnaud's had a slide. He's going to do the same as Camo Baba, but he's going to hit the wall. He's out. Wow, that was a light tap into the wall, but it's taken him out. Bad news for Risky Racer. He's just pitted. Surely the rest of the soft runners will also pit. And that is Arnaud out of the race. Safety car out. Pete has to pit. They all have to pit, surely. It's a no-brainer. Except if your name is MK Bourne. He will stay out, won't he? Of course
yes,
he'll stay.
He
has to stay out.
Of course.
No point pitting now. But I think Arnaud there was extremely unlucky. It was a little tap. And it ripped the wheel off. But that's sort of how it goes sometimes, I guess. He was well off the track as well. That should never really be realistically a safety car, but oh well. But yeah, MK Bourne, Joker driver, in the lead. And Camo Babo gets to recover. Also, of course, another Joker driver. And he's P3 now.
Yep. Such a shame about Arnold going out. That's we were about to have that impressive freeway battle that we've been wanting all season. And it's been taken from us on lap 3. But Pete and Khalifa, they're still next to each other on track, so I think there's a little bit of excitement still left in this one. As indecisive Matt pits.
Yeah. Everyone who's pitting should be onto the mediums, or maybe even another set of softs if they're feeling really adventurous, as Khalifa and Baza are. Rest though, mediums, not a surprise. Can they get softs far, or are they planning on getting their 2 stops out of the way during this safety car? Could be.
Could be.
Tad unlikely, but you've got to predict these things, haven't you?
Just wonder if anybody would stick on the hards at this point, anticipate another safety car, but would that put them at a disadvantage later on in the race? Most likely it would. It would certainly give them the race lead if another safety car come out in the next 15 laps or so.
Yeah, especially when we've got now Frenagamo into the pit. He's into the lead briefly, but he'll lose it instantly. That might not actually have been the worst move in the world. Just sort of to put himself at the back, protect himself, maybe on a restart. I guess maybe he didn't want to stack with any of his teammates, but B's a 5-second penalty when he pits, an unnecessary one to get. He won't be able to take that one either, will he?
I don't think so.
He's going to have to wait until his next stop. And he's got a front wing broken, so that might have happened on that lap in. Maybe that's why he's sped. Obviously, it's more difficult to get the car slowed down, but yeah. People really haven't stopped then. Only the top 2 and Jess. And Baza, there's a puncture, isn't there? Baza's got a puncture from the collision with Splinter, wasn't it?
Correct, yep.
Yeah, broken front wing there, and Baza, he's really going to be hoping that this safety car isn't going in on this lap, because he's also broke his front wing on someone.
And he's got to think of the playoffs as well. This is huge. This is Baza out of the playoffs as it stands.
He's going to have to chase the front wing and hope that he doesn't spin off. Obviously, we saw happened to John. His tyres blowing up. It's onto the second phase of damage now, and once it hits that second phase, you're not going to be able to turn. You're not going to be able to turn. It will spin off on you. And there he goes. He's into the gravel trap, and Baza is seeing his season fall apart right in front of him. Well, in fact, right behind him, as the safety car is going in this lap. Oh, I don't believe it. Baza is in massive trouble. He's going to have to crawl around. He'll be lapped.
Yeah. He'll do well just to keep it in a straight line to the pits. This is the same problem that John had last week, and obviously there's no walls this week.
He went too fast. You can crawl around and not hit the second phase. Once you hit the second phase, you're screwed. You're going to have to crawl around, but we're getting ready to restart. As that is all happening, MK Bourne is away and starting lap 6 of this race. And we'll have to wait and see, because Baza has spun off again, if he's going to get lapped, because there's no ghosting, and if he's not careful, he's going to have a massive accident with somebody. We saw it with John last week with the safety car itself, but when you've got a whole pack of cars at full speed, it's a slight bit more dangerous for the rest of the field, as Jess, of course, starts falling down the grade with all the new tyres around her. She'll be wise to avoid fighting these guys, I think, for a bit, when she's being flustered like this. Because it is a lot of cars passing at the same time on the fresher tyres. And Jordan now, he fought getting Risky actually. And Risky didn't lose out as bad as I thought he might, in fact. He's actually gained still out of a safety car. I was worried that because he pitted, he would actually, you know, be at the back when everyone else pitted on the safety car. But he's alright.
Baz is just making the pit lane, by the way.
Yeah, has just gotten to the pit lane.
Just about as well.
Splinter not really in play either, of course, after the accident that he had with Basil. Although Basil lost his front wing off somewhere else. Because they both lost a bit of front wing. I don't know who hits who in what way. But either way, maybe it was Beesma that Basil or Splinter had the original contact with. But it's a weird one. Very weird one. But, oh well, it's the way it works sometimes. You still happen to do our trials in green flag conditions in the charity race. And, yeah, happened again today.
Khalifa on the outside of Pete, sorry, as they go into turn 3, and Pete's hit the back of Camo Babo and spun him.
Camo Babo is going to be absolutely livid, and I'm going to be livid as well because I missed it. I was looking near the back. I was looking at Jess again. I see Pete smashed his front wing up.
Yeah.
And that's not good news, of course, for him. And wow.
Such a shame for MK Bourne as well, because Camo Babo was protecting him from the attacks from behind, and it's Pete that's ruined that. So now Khalifa is hunting down MK Bourne. Both of these have one pit stop each to remaining. Sorry.
Got a lot of side-by-side fighting, and Fenagamon's going to go for a spin. He's into the wall. Oh dear. And there goes Pete into the pit lane. How far is he going to fall back as we get a virtual safety car for the accident? That'll limit the damage a bit for Pete. In fact, do you know what? This could actually play right into his hands.
Yeah.
He might have just got away with this, although there might well be post-race penalties, you don't know. I know we like our aggressive racing, but when you flat-out punt someone off the track like that, I don't know how the stewards look at that one.
I'm not sure yet, but whatever happens to Pete, it doesn't matter. It's the cars around him that benefit from any potential added-on penalties after the race, and that's what can affect the championship. Or sorry, the playoff picture, because it's not a championship, is it, idiot? You'd like to think I know the rules by now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, come on. Anyway, we're getting ready to go green again. Obviously, these VSCs don't last too long, and I think MK Bourne has started the restart procedure already. You can see he's, you know, full throttle and all sorts, so it must be going away any moment now. And there we go, we're green. And it looks like Risky Racer's off. Risky Racer's had an accident, he's spun off. He was a bit too eager on the restart, and he's in the grass. The third car today to end up in the grass on the exit of turn 6. It's a pretty tricky corner, even under virtual. And Risky's got a history of doing this pretty much every week at this point. It's becoming a tradition.
I mean, everyone's got a hobby, but I don't like his.
He must still have his Apple mats, for goodness sake. Yeah, I've been telling him for years, literally, to get rid of him. He just doesn't quite get the picture. As Dexter tries to get past Clyde, that's not going to work though. And he'll fall straight back behind. But then we'll have a pretty nice run with a DRS. I'll have another go on Clyde into turn 3. Let's see if we can make it work this time round. A bit early on the brakes this time. Doesn't want to end up straight off the track. And this time he is up ahead and into P6.
And it's TC lurking behind them. Go on, top 2.
TC is behind, but the top 2. I just wonder how long MK Bourne will stay out, because he can probably pit at the end of this lap if he fancies it. Just maybe doesn't want to get into a fight, which is slowing him down, because he is obviously on the one stop and maybe feeling he's a little slower on wearing tyres. So if he pits his lap, gets the stop out of the way, they'll be home and clear. But he's not going to do that, and he'll end up in a fight, and that could end in tears. Look what happened to Camo Babo and Pete. Speaking of which, Camo Babo is fixed up. He's got a penalty. To ahead.
He's all over the back of Jordan as he makes the move into turn 1 here. Camo Babo.
Yep, up ahead. Although Jordan looks to be good on the exit, and Khalifa, yeah, I think that was a sensible thing to do for MK, but he just didn't fight that at all, which is it's fair enough. Yeah, maybe he just wants to protect second place because he know he'll get playoffs as second place.
Yeah,
let's say it that way. Why go for glory and risk it all if you end up in the wall for it?
He doesn't need to win, but what will I say he needed? 11th place or better for MK Bourne will do. Khalifa also doesn't need to win with 2 wins to his name already.
That's the difference. He's already free as Khalifa. He knows it.
Yep.
MK Bourne knows he has a little bit of contact, ends up in the wall. Could be him done.
Camababo's still going fairly well despite that penalty and spin that Pete caused. Up in
Pete
fourth.
again in the wars. He's returned to his quote-unquote normal form. He had those 3 wins in a row, but either side of that, he's been a bit of a crash machine, hasn't he? He's been messy, not really fulfilling his potential anymore again. So I know it's a weird observation to make. Do tell me it's weird, but I'm looking up the main street and everyone who's got their pit boards are all saying McLaren on them. I don't know why I find that amusing, but there you go. they all drive for McLaren this lot, as it turns out. Risky racer.
I was just going to say, anybody who knows Pete will know that Baku next week is his track, so if he doesn't win there, then he is definitely out of form.
Yes. We've got so many fights, I don't know which one's to watch. You've got Clyde, you've got Dexter, you've also got Jordan and Camo Babo. Jordan, of course, coming back on Camo Babo. All those 10-lap-old softs starting to become a bit second-hand. Does he fancy the pit lane? He can pit now, he'll be fine, but he's deciding just to wait it out a little bit. And still up in the top 5, I guess, so maybe hoping for a BSC or a full safety car to give him the chance to pit. MK Bourne stays out, Camo Babo as well stays out, so maybe they'll all be waiting for a virtual or a full safety car. Still 18 drivers, so still plenty of sources of accidents, let's say. But at the moment, again, we're staying kind of clean for you know, compared to recent weeks. They've been very well behaved so far, which is good.
Proper racers track is Austria, as I'm looking at Kamibabo making a move on Jordan down the inside. Not enough room there, they touch each other. Jordan will pull away, great traction. Kamibabo should have that DRS. So close the gap once again.
If I'm saying this right, but I think P might have just got 2 cars in one go. That's useful for him. P12 now. And Beesma there, trying to get... Or I think that's actually Risky, sorry, trying to get Beesma.
That's the livery's confusing you, isn't it?
Well, no, I just couldn't tell, because I think Beesma was trying to come back at Risky, had just got him. But liveries, shockingly, aren't too confusing so far. Yet, you know, touch wood. I mean, they could have at least done a bit of a variation on the colours. You know, someone has the blue on the Venus bits and some has white on the Venus bit. You know, variation, lads, come on. Sorry, it's annoying me now.
You're never happy, are you?
No. Yeah, it has to be perfect, man. If it's not perfect, you should be sacked.
Beesma with DRS on Risky Racer. He's going to be too far back for a move into turn 1 here. But Pete closing the gap.
Pete should get them quite easily. But, it wouldn't be for P10, and you have quite a long way before he catches up to the relatively massive train for P4, has to be said, going all the way down to TC. TC, who's currently in 8th place, how does that look for him in his championship? I'm not too sure where he has to finish today.
I'll tell you what, you keep commentating, I'll come back to you.
We could have a wee update at the 1/3 race, 1/3 stage of the race. Obviously, Khalifa, or was it Khalifa or MK Bourne who got the stage point as well?
Oh, I can't remember that much.
I can't remember either. We can't look back on the stream either. Oh dear. We'll confirm it all afterwards anyway. But yeah, 1/3 of the way through the race, just over 1/3 of the way. And I'm sure Jacko will now give us a wee update. He'll do his calculations to get a wee calculator right, and I'll commentate on this 4-way fight for P5. Looks like Jordan's starting to pull away from this a little bit. Certainly looks to me as if Camababo's tires are a bit more second hand now. All 4 of these drivers, by the way, Camaro, Clyde, Dexter and TC, all in the thick of it in this fight for the playoffs, and that's why I'm sort of wondering what this all means for them right now.
Yeah, as it stands though, and obviously MK Bourne and Dexter, they're through, they're sailing. TC and Chris would go for on 78 points, and Risky still just about the man inside, but only by a point, so if Bazza can get himself up to 15th, it would knock Risky out.
Oh,
as Cloud has gone off. Okay, well,
I couldn't quite see where
ignore
he went,
everything I've just said. Changes it again.
It changes every 5 minutes, doesn't it? It just, difficult to look at. I can't tell who did that though, if I'm honest with you. I don't know if he went on the outside, maybe a bit too late. I sort of joined on a bit late because I was looking at Jailer getting by MK Bourne for 2nd place. MK Bourne still staying out. Tires must be a bit by itself, I didn't know.
I'd
Sure,
love
I
to
know I
know
keep
his
saying it,
percentage,
but
yeah.
we had Risky Racer in the pits on that too, so I guess the tires have a long range there as Dexter gets by Camo Babo. TC lost a bit of time as well. Could have been him and Clyde who came together possibly, but yeah, we've now got someone get a screenshot of this. We've got 3 identical cars all chasing each other, and they're side by side, some of them as well. Let's not crash into each other now, lads. That'd be really embarrassing. As Yuri slows down, lets Pete go through. Well, that was easy, wasn't it? And then here comes Risky Racer as well. My goodness. I'm seeing triple vision, and I'm seeing Yuri falling all the way to the back of that train of identical cars. He's got the best helmet out of the three, though, so
oh yeah,
you can take the you know, acclaims for that one because his helmet actually works through the livery.
must say Yuri playing a team game. Obviously, unless he wins this race, he is out of the playoffs, but will be in the chase for the 11th, which of course is a wildcard entry for the highest finishing driver after the next 5 rounds. They will have a...
It's raining.
It
This seems to be a dry race, but it is actually raining now. I was wondering if it was tricking me again with the catch fence, but no, it's raining at the moment here in Austria.
It's raining.
And that's why MK Bourne and why Camo Babo haven't pitted yet. That tells me all I need to know. That's why everyone else pitted for the medium combine tyre, as Camo Babo starts to fall through the field. And well, who's the first one to go into intermediates now?
And put
this
softs
shakes
on.
it up. Jess is pitted. Does this suggest that this rain is going to not end up in intermediate? Will it genuinely be just dry and just little light rain? It doesn't feel like it's going to be that way for the moment. We'll keep an eye on it, but
what does Khalifa do? He stays out.
he stays out. This is where you win or lose this race possibly, and this is where J-Lu can turn up and win this thing. You know, just be a bit of a wild card himself. There obviously won't count, will it? But he'll take it. I'm sure he might. Campaign if he wins this race now to say, listen, I want a race, let me in now please, thank you.
Everybody's staying out so far, all the way down to 8th, 9th, 10th even. I can't keep up.
Yeah, it's only spitting with rain at the moment. I think it'd be quite silly to risk at the minute, and then maybe possibly waiting for someone to crash first to maybe get a safety car as well. All I'm hoping for is a safety car, if we get one through these conditions, to happen after we've all changed tyres, so we can actually have a bit of variation. Because if you get a safety car now, everyone's just going to change at the same time, aren't they? It'll be boring. We've got plenty of side-by-side fights in here, as Clyde gets ahead of TC and Pete gets ahead of Camo Babo.
He did it cleanly that time, that's the difference.
Yes. It's incredible how quick he is, isn't it? He's been able to spin him off, pit, and still pass him. We're going to be mustering like, what, 15 seconds between the two, but yeah. Khalifa stays out again. Is J-Luke fancy a pit stop yet? Nope.
MK Bourne staying out as well. His tyres will be shot as well, so he's in one of those positions where he either keeps his trust in the dries and goes medium, or does he gamble?
Someone has to gamble.
Surely.
Yeah, there's so many people like, say Yuri, what's he doing staying out again? Put yourself in the fight for the playoffs and get yourself up there. Like I said, this is where you can get a wild card result. Surely someone will be in at the end of this lap. It's too heavy. As we get side by side stuff now, you got Dexter and Jordan. Dexter ahead into P4. So they seem to still be able to race. Maybe it just looks heavy and it isn't actually too bad, but Risky Racer gets ahead of Camo Babo. His tyres are absolutely gone. He's going to be careful he doesn't get a puncture. He's done half the race on them. They're not meant to go this far. It's evident that he's losing pace, but he's still going to try moves on the inside of Risky Racer there. He's desperate to keep ahead. You got Jordan as well, still on the back.
pits.
Frenagamo does indeed pit.
For
Surely
mediums.
Khalifa pits as well. J-Luke stayed out. J-Luke stayed out. MK Bourne is going to pit as well. Look how slow he is into the box. Dexter is staying out again, as is Jordan. Clyde. Oh, it's Khalifa onto mediums as well. Frenagamo too onto mediums, so no one's pitting for dry, or for wets I should say. Pete has pitted as well, but there's a yellow flag out there for someone. Not too sure who. But, oh, this is interesting now. This is interesting because the Khalifa has stuck with the strategy, as you say, just stick with the plan. And this does become Inter's. What are you going to do now? He's down in 4th. J-Luke's leading by nearly 10 seconds. He's got plenty of time to play with.
I'm watching MK Bourne. He's come out the pits. The rain looks ever heavier. And he's down in 11th. That's where he needs to be to qualify for the playoffs.
And it could
And
be
he
where he's
goes
about to lose.
wide. Oh.
Everyone who's pitted
Everyone's
has pitted
struggling.
for dries,
Yep.
which is incredible. They're nearly 4 seconds a lap off the pace. Let's see how far J-Luke is off. It's ludicrous. Why aren't we on the intermediates right now? It's too slow. Look at J-Luke's lap. He's the race leader, and he is currently 5.4 seconds a lap slower. It's ludicrous. Pit for Inters. I can't believe what I'm saying.
I can't. I'm
Someone
speechless.
pit for the intermediates, man. Ignore the weather, man. He's wrong. Jeff is wrong. Someone pit for
Oh,
Inters.
Khalifa had a moment on the exit of turn 1. He kept it straight but lost a bit of time to Jordan. Whiteout with a
Unless this
penalty.
rain is set to stop soon, there's no reason why you should. Oh my goodness, Dexter and Jordan have both waltzed off together. But there's no reason why you shouldn't be pitting right now. It's ridiculous, man.
Khalifa's
I can't
struggling like
believe
mad,
it.
but he's making the move on Dexter still.
Like I say, unless the rain stopping is imminent, you've got to pit. You're losing 6 seconds. Oh my goodness. He's 5 seconds down, J-Luke in the middle sector. He's all over the road. Christ, pit.
And he
Is
was
that
stay
Fenegamo
out.
seeing sense? He's pitting. Someone has seen sense, and is not the race leader. Maybe he can afford it. He's obviously 10 seconds clear. Maybe he doesn't have to be the first one in, but Khalifa stays out a bit longer. Dexter is pitting. So is Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan, is he a full-time
Now's the
driver
time.
yet?
J. Luke on Inters. This is for the race win.
Is Jordan...
Sorry, Frenagamo. So
Is Jordan full-timer or not?
Jordan is full time.
Because this is potentially what can spur him on to take a shock victory today. He is the second lead guy out there. And I tell you what, Dexter, he was close to beating him there. And Risky Racer into the pits as well.
He has beaten him.
Thrust him straight into it.
Dexter's leading the race on net.
Dexter is leading this race. It's very good for him so far. If he can just keep it on the road. Let's cut back to the top man. J-Luke, I said he's got a 10-second advantage. This is not the end of the world. He can pit this lap and probably will still lead the race. But Khalifa, oh, not so much. Yuri's got a penalty. He's still out there. And NK Bourne, oh my goodness. Could this be where he loses his chance? Because he's going to fall outside the top 11, surely. He's too slow.
Oh,
J-Luke
man.
pitting. And this will put him in the net lead. Like I say, I don't know if there could be negotiations after this to get him in the playoffs, but I'm sure he'll be trying his very hardest, because he would argue if he wins this thing now that he's got a right to be in the playoffs. Surely, if he wins it, then...
He would argue, but he doesn't have
he
a
might.
full-time seat to argue with.
Well, he's got the race win if he can take it, that is. And Khalifa stays out. DRS is disabled, and he stayed out. It
Oh,
said on the
Khalifa.
screen. Yuri as well stays out. As does NK Bourne. Surely the rain is going
Whoa.
to stop them at some point. But look how 10.5 seconds
Look at
down a
Dexter.
lap. You'll lose a pit stop in 2 laps. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You've got to pit.
Whiteout
has
crashes.
crashed
Dexter
out
makes a move
the
on MK
mediums.
Bourne. Safety car.
Bin off, safety car. Go away. That is well and truly ruined that. He's well and truly ruined everything. It's put Khalifa back in the lead of this race. The jammy little... I can't... My disappointment is immeasurable. Man, he messed it up and he's being rewarded for it. How does that make any sense? Can't believe that. I'm sure Jelly could probably still take the lead. Oh, that's so annoying. How jammy is that?
And with that crash, Whiteout is now out of the
He
playoff
doesn't
hunt.
deserve to be in after that crash. He's ruined everything. He's ruined the race for everyone. Look at this. Khalifa's going to take the lead of the race back again after definitely bottling it. Yuri, though, well, he might be rewarded actually for that, and I might be a slight bit happier for that. But,
hopefully Khalifa sticks some
actually,
softs on.
J-Luke will get him, actually. It's not as bad. But still, man, he's being rewarded for messing this up. He'll be second. He comes out second. Lucky. Ah! MK Bourne stayed out. That's not a good idea. Surely the rain's stopping at some point, right? There's no feasible reason for him to not be pitting right now. Risky Racer has stuck his he's in the pit, sorry, he hasn't stuck any dry tyres on yet. Saying that, he'd only just done that recently. We'll see what he does now. Surely it enters. And there'll be only one guy out there who's trying to go and get disqualified. His day is done then. Risky Racer changes his front way, he's on to intermediates, but yeah. MK Bourne, only guy out there, still on mediums. Of course, if the rain stops during the safety car period,
he's played a blinder.
Great, he'll win the race.
Yeah.
If not, he's not going to get the playoffs. It's win the race now, or don't qualify for the playoffs at all. He has to finish at least 11th, and right now that's never going to happen if this rain keeps falling. From what I can tell, the way these guys are driving this, the rain is going to stop at some point. It's so confusing, I don't get it.
Let me update you quickly on the playoffs. It's actually quite a simple picture. Whiteout has crashed, he's out. Baza is a lap down, he is also out. Camo Babo is not high enough to make the top 10, so he is also out. So MK Bourne can afford to take this risk, providing Camo Babo does not finish second or higher if it stays like this. With the exception of, obviously, Camo Babo.
So MK Bourne is sticking to his guns. He's not pitting, he's not going to try and mess anything up. He's just going to stay at night and stick with the strategy.
This rain is heavier on the pit straight as well now, Owen. I don't know about you.
It's alright. It's okay, but if a safety car comes in on this lap, he's going to be last in a matter of seconds. The risk isn't even worth. It just isn't a risk. It's just stupid. Unless the rain stops right now. And even then, it would take a while to dry up. I'm sorry, I don't quite get his thinking right now. Let's see what he does. Let's see what the rain does. Safety car should be in at the end of this lap, although saying that, Baza... Well, not Baza, sorry. Well, actually, sorry, Fernigan's been disqualified. What's he still doing out there? I've seen this happen before, earlier in the season, didn't it? I'm going to just quickly bring up the instance. I'm pretty sure I watched him get disqualified for ignoring the yellow flag.
He's still going round on my screen.
A bit harsh for a disqualification, but I swear I saw someone get disqualified. Might not have been him, might have been someone else. Let me see if I can find it on my screen. Maybe I made it up. I don't know. I swear I saw someone get disqualified there. I wouldn't normally call it disqualification if I didn't see it, you know?
Understood. Safety car will do another lap.
Okay, I don't see a disqualification up there. I must have got that wrong. Sorry about that. Safety car, yeah, you're right. We'll do another lap. So that's something else I got wrong. So I said that would be staying out. Or petting, sorry. Sorry to hear someone playing the drums outside, by the way. I don't know who's doing that. I've just started to hear it, and now I can't unhear it. And
yeah. I thought I could hear some distant drums, but I was like, nah, it's coming from the game, surely.
Nah, yeah. That makes plenty of sense.
There's Codemasters. Nothing is impossible.
Well, yeah. Jesus, but how is that on the drums? Oh my god, there's a banging on this thing. Must be a child. I'm probably bullying a child by complaining about him. Oh, I can't see
So, Owen, how are you looking at this? J-Luke, the reserve driver, he'll be doing this purely out of pride. Khalifa, already in the playoffs, doesn't need to win. Dexter, desperate for a win. Is he going to start taking risks, or is he happy with third just to get into the playoffs?
We'll see what the weather does, maybe. Maybe he feels more confident in these conditions. I reckon Khalifa should get J-Luke okay, but yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see if they fight too hard, maybe if Dexter can get involved. Rain is a bit lighter now. Still not stopping now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see another phase of pit stops in this race. It has to be another phase of pit stops coming. There must be rain stopping soon. I just can't wrap my head around what MK4 is still doing out there on interest. I mean, yeah, it's spitting on rain. It is spitting. And so, I mean, if it stops now, or in the next lap, he might just get away with this, but it doesn't look likely. Is Khalifa pitting? Has he hit J-Luke? No, there's no damage on there. He's just going to pit. And it's
going for mediums.
Again. He's going to pit for some dries, isn't he?
Yeah.
This just adds another element to this. A lot of guys are pitting. So we've got 3 in the pits. The race is transforming once again, folks. For once on a restart, I'm not looking at the guys in this fight. I'm going to say these are dries. They are all going on the softs. Oh boy. The rain has stopped. The rain has stopped. The risk is paying off right now.
MK Bourne, he's in the box seat.
He is in the box seat. It's incredible stuff. If he doesn't get involved in an accident, of course that is.
Of course.
Surely MK Bourne will be winning this race right now, but will Khalifa be able to jump everyone and get himself into a net second place, or will he not be quick enough on these tires? Oh, he's flying on. He's flying on. The rain has stopped, and it's stopped at the best point possible if your name's MK Bourne. Yuri's off the track. Not going too well for him, but MK Bourne will be absolutely leaping. He's going to be loving this. He's going to have a 20-second lead with only 10 laps to go. He can cruise to the finish now. As Khalifa gets ahead of Frenagamo.
Dexter is pitting by the looks of it.
Now. Look at this.
Oh,
MK Bourne is taking risk, an incredible risk. I said the rain had to stop for him soon, and it did, luckily. But surely some of these guys will find themselves stacking with each other. Beaton stays out, which is interesting.
Is a total masterclass from a German driver.
I've got to say, that has blown me away. That is such an incredible strategy. You've got to say, I mean,
yeah,
fair dues. That was perfect. So good stuff.
Awesome.
And just now, of course, we're celebrating like he's won the race. Let's just hold back a moment, because we saw, you know, Khalifa pit for new softs. He's going to be a man on a mission right now. He's going to have to fly on. He's going to be flying out there.
Look at Cloud as well. He's had a wretched race up until this point. Now he's sitting pretty in 4th, with Mark Beesme yet to stop. So that should be a podium for Cloud, providing it goes to plan. That's the key word, key phrase.
And this is why they're all saying the race is going to be dry, because I guess the rain portion has genuinely caught everyone by surprise. I guess they looked on their radars and they didn't see rain. It was only going to spit. It was only inter-track for about 4 or 5 laps, most of which were under safety car. Beesme, the last man on enters now into the pit lane. But yeah, Khalifa is up in 2nd. Can he close the 11.1 second gap? Let's just see if there's any penalties. Some guys have done 5s. Pete's done 5 stops. He's racking it up again. MK Bourne has a 3-second time penalty. Khalifa has not got any penalties.
And Pete's out.
Safety car. And well, that is where MK Bourne's penalty becomes a problem. Does he fancy pitting now for softs as well? If I was him, I'd be pitting on this lap, because his tyres will stand no chance.
Camo
Babo's been disqualified. He's out. He's done. That's how. Goodbye, playoffs.
Yeah, he was a long shot anyway coming into this race. But he is now officially out and will be in that chase for the 11th. Pete
Surely
out.
MK Bourne has to pit, because he might well be able to come out still in the lead of this race.
He
gets to cut the last corner. He gets to cut the last corner, so that'll save him a few seconds. He should still come out in the race lead.
Don't speed. Yeah, he slows
he's made sure he's not speeding.
Oh, yes.
He made double.
Will
he get past? Look how slow Khalifa has to go, but he'll put the delta down. He can floor it now. Oh, he might actually use a lead here. Oh, it'll be close, you know. Actually, it won't be. He's already lost 2nd. In fact, J-Luke might even fancy getting him for 3rd. It depends where they are on the pit lane exit line. It's close. But it is J-Luke, I think. He's got ahead. No, it's MK Ball. You have to get the position. Oh no, they can't decide.
J-Luke on my screen, yep.
They were just sort of going back and forth and they couldn't decide who was ahead there. Pete is moaning about TC and Camo Babo, and TC has pitted. This could be his playoffs under threat as well. Don't really know where he is in the standings. I would have thought he's quite high up, but
TC was +5 coming into this race, and finishing there he'll get 3 points, which probably isn't enough. But you got to look at Bazza, Whiteout, Camo Babo, so TC is safe. Just.
I tell you what,
and only just.
We're gonna have quite the finish here. Jordan is the only guy on the field on these mediums. They're new mediums, but they're still mediums compared to everyone around on the same age softs. I'm a bit worried for him, I gotta say. This could go quite badly wrong. It's been a great day so far, but he will not have the same speed. He's gonna hope the tyres hold on a bit better in the closing stages, but a safety car really right now is the last thing he needs.
Yeah, I have just checked the standings as well. Bazza and TC are tied on +5 points, so TC would be 1 ahead of Bazza, and Bazza would be out of the playoffs. Bazza's also a lap down.
Lap 30 of the race has started, and yeah, we'll just see where Bazza is in the pack, because he could be getting right in the way of people, you know. And in fact, that's exactly what he's doing. He's side by side with Biesma, and there goes Fenegamo ahead as well. I do hope these don't quite illegal overtakes, because look at this, Bazza's holding them all up. Bazza's created a tree in here of cars behind him. I guess they're not allowed to pass. It's one of the really silly safety car rules. You can't pass lapped cars, and lapped cars can't unlap themselves. It's like ignoring the rules of the safety car completely. It's really weird. I'm sure Bazza, as soon as the safety car goes in, he'll back off and let them all go, but right now he could hold this safety car restart up for the guys 11th down, which is good news for me. He's indecisive. He just gets a bit of breathing room, because that's Biesma actually ahead now. Biesma is ahead, properly ahead, but we'll see how that all pans out when the safety car goes in, presumably at the end of this lap, and indeed it will be in at the end of this lap. We're going to have 6 laps of action to decide the playoff spots. I mean, it has to be said, most of it is pretty much decided already, and well, Biesma's actually gone into indecisive. And Baz is still in the midst of it all. Is Biesma got... Oh yeah, he's broke his front wing, and he's got a penalty as well. It's just all going wrong right now.
Just to keep you up in the loop, Owen, the only way Bazza can now qualify is if TC or Cloud crash out. So
Khalifa has had a blinding start. He's already 1.5 seconds ahead of Cloud. He's 1.3 seconds ahead of MK Bourne, who's going to be on an absolute charge, you'd hope. There's Risky on the inside, up into P6. Biesma and Fenegamo going for it. Biesma, of course, with the front wing damage now, and Fenegamo nearly into the wall. And there's TC with a 3-second time penalty. He's just got to keep going to get into the playoffs at the moment. We've got Risky and now Dexter and Yuri going. Yuri up there into P7 now. If he can get this move finished, he should be able to get up the inside, but he doesn't have much straight line speed actually.
Oh,
he's got
makes
good brakes
move.
though. He's up ahead. I think
Dexter loses some wing. Yep,
yeah,
gone.
He's hit him. Light touch, but enough to break the wing. So that'll be Yuri pretty much ahead then for certain. Not able to come back, I'd imagine. Clyde is falling right back already, as J-Luke catches up, as does MK Bourne. Jordan isn't losing too much time at the moment on these mediums, which is good news. I was worried that he would just fall through the pack, you know, being on the slower compounded tyre when everyone else around him was on the faster, softer, fresher tyre. But he's surviving it alright at the moment. Khalifa, that's a big lock up there for Jordan. He's going to lose that P6. Don't want to speak too soon about him, of course, because then he'll do that more often, but he's down to P6 now. Khalifa should be pretty much checked out as it stands, but we'll see again how that goes. Only 5 to go. Here is TC. trying to get past the wounded Beesma and possibly even Flanagan for good measure. Not going to get by either of them into the hairpin. He'll just have to sit back and wait. But here comes J-Luke on Clyde. Clyde, of course, running in P2, probably the highest he's been for a very, very, very long time. He wanted to keep this one for as long as he possibly can, but it doesn't look very like it at the moment. He'll be absolutely swarmed when there's DRS enabled on the very next lap. And look at this, we've got plenty of trains getting ready to start fighting once DRS is enabled. This is certainly going to be a very entertaining end to this race. There you go, DRS is enabled. Khalifa nearly 4 seconds clear, but this is where it all gets interesting. J-Luke on the back of Clyde. NK Board just in the wings, waiting to go. Remember, he's got a 3-second time penalty. So that could affect him.
Owen, something we've overlooked as well is the regular season championship. You know, the bonus playoff points for having the most points. And that has been won by Arnold because of Pete's crash in P16. So Arnold will be sitting pretty with 29 playoff points as we head into Baku.
J-Luke there up into P2. We saw it happen on the screen when I was seeing Dexter trying to get back by Yuri. Yuri again very late on the brakes. We know he can do that into there, and he's done it again to keep ahead. And TC gets ahead of Beesma up into P12. And well, Risky Racers now join this fight for second place. The train going from J-League all the way down to Risky, with Jordan obviously falling back on the slower tyres. The sun is out now. No more dark clouds over the circuit here in Spielberg, so we should be able to get a finish worthy of Spielberg. I'm going to retire after that joke. I don't even know why I bothered.
I ignored it.
Yeah, I thought, you know what, we'll just commit to it. I'd already started it. But,
Risky makes a move on MK Bourne. That's nice and easy, look at that.
Yeah,
Okay.
MK Bourne's not going to be a big fan of that one, is he? He's
No.
maybe regretting the pit stop of it. Possibly.
Such a shame as well, because that strategy, staying out on the mediums, was fantastic.
The safety cars really have played unbelievably well for Khalifa, haven't they? It just,
Oh yeah.
It angers me so much. Both safety cars worked out so well for him. I'm not trying to say he doesn't deserve to win today. I'm telling you, he doesn't deserve to win today.
The safety car has won this race for Khalifa.
Yeah.
As he comes around turn 8 with 2 laps to go. But gets a penalty.
How's J-League's penalties looking? He's got one as well. What about Clyde? He's got one.
Risky on the back of Cloud, yeah. To the inside of turn 1.
He's up to the podium places. He will
Nice move, nice and
100%
clean.
not keep it with all the penalties he's got. But, yeah, still.
I'll tell you what, he's 100% in the playoffs, providing he finishes.
Yeah. All going well in that respect, I guess. Maybe losing the podium won't be the worst thing in the world for him when he sees where he ends up in the playoffs. There's Yuri again late on the brakes when he gets overtaken. This time, though, he's made contact and is behind. But now, he gets a dose of DRS, but he also gets a dose of Splinter. And is that front wing broken? Front wing is broken. He's going to be very late on the brakes again, but this time, with the damage, it might be more difficult to slow down. He's okay, though. Dexter's hit him again. They've both got the same type of wing damage at the same area of the car. So it should be, I guess, in that respect, even Stevens for their car's downforce. And Bazza, well, he's a lap car, but he still put himself right on the back of all this. TC not quite able to get into the top 10 by the looks of it. He'll finish 11th, maybe one of his worst performances of the season, but should still be enough for playoffs, just considering everything that's happened around him. Onto the final lap of the race, and we've got MK Bourne on the back of Clyde, looking to try and put himself into what won't actually affect the race result, I don't believe, because it's got
Dexter with a move on Yuri. Oh,
yeah, Yuri will keep that one relatively easy. Even regardless of the penalties, he's fighting hard, which is good to see. NK Bourne and Clyde don't do any fighting now. Here comes Splinter, here comes Dexter. Will Dexter try his own late braking trade? He will try, but Yuri knows that's coming. He's going to go miles off the track to keep ahead, but you know what? He's touched the grass a bit on the exit, and this is where Dexter should get him. Will Yuri switch to the inside line again? I'll go with the outside this time. That's a bit more risky. He does end up nearly on the gravel trap, but he is somehow staying ahead. It's good driving, it has to be said, for these two side by side on the final lap. But we've now got a cut to Khalifa, who's going to come round the final corner. The checkered flag waves, and it waves for a very lucky, it has to be said, Khalifa. Well done to him on the win. Here comes J Luke to finish in second. MK Bourne's got another penalty. Risky Racers third. Clyde now third. Jordan fourth. MK Bourne fifth. Risky sixth. He's going to come across the line in seventh though. Look at all this. Very close. Splinter up to P5. MK Bourne sixth. Dexter seventh. Indecisive eighth. Risky ninth. TC 10th. Yuri 11th. Frenegamu 12th. Beastma 13th. Frenegamu 13th now. And then it'll be Beastma 14th. And well, he was last. Baza was last, wasn't he? 15th.
Yeah, the maths are so simple for the playoffs. Baza a lap down and he gets a point, or 2 points for 15th I should say. Whiteout crashed out, Camo Babo was disqualified. So the 5 guys that will join Arnold, Pete, Jamie, Khalifa and OKK in the playoffs are Dexter, MK Bourne, TC, Chris Morris and Risky Racer, who had the most awful first 5 races, and he somehow squeezed in I should say.
That's a different phrase I've never heard before, but there you go. That is your race then in Spielberg. Hopefully this has been uploaded nice and quickly for you all. Hopefully for next week we will get this working properly. YouTube on the PlayStation basically means you can't log in or out of an account, and I'm currently logged into PSGL. I don't think I'd very much appreciate this one being up there, so sorry that this might be up a day or two late, but hopefully we'll be back to normal for next week. Thank you for watching if you did. Hope you all enjoyed it, and join us next week in Baku for the start of the playoffs. And probably before we go, I think we forgot to do this last time. Driver today, people. I'm going to put him up there straight away. J Luke for coming off in a one-off. Good for him. I got a few, I must say. Jordan as well. MK Bourne too, just for that strategy alone. Got a bit unlucky.
Yeah.
And Splinter as well, finishing P5. There's so many good drives out there.
Quiet race for Splinter from the back of the grid, but he stayed out of trouble, and well, that sort of consistency will get him through the playoff rounds. He might well be a wild card for the championship race in China.
So that has been the Austrian Grand Prix. Round 10 of the season is done and dusted. It starts to get pretty serious next week with the playoffs beginning in Baku. I'll be there. Jacko will be there. Hopefully we'll be able to stream that one. So cheers for watching and safe travels, everybody.